All right. And we are live, everybody. All right, here we are once again. We about to go into part 4 of this anniversary book, Heroes of Dreams here. And the game's about to begin there. Yeah, as I say, it's getting one thing I definitely gotta point out there. It just kind of realized, I was reading, as I was reading through, I think it was the final chapter of part of what I think part chapter 10, somewhere in there, about the unknown universe. Yeah, it was mentioned by the Fenians and everything. So apparently, so a little something about this unknown universe here. Now I'm not. It may come up in the story. It might be a mention of it, but there was I think it was supposed to be called Torican there. That's what it was. I think it was going to be called. Like I say, it may be mentioned here. It may not. Uh, However, now the now this universe generating imagination and dreams is now called Yumiko, as we see in the new series here, Yumiko, which of course that series is spinning off into his own. Is pretty much now in his own thing, which is spinning off into um, soon next year the Supreme Star Striker series, which will be connected to it, as well as also in another universe, but still have some connection to it. Well done there. Yep. So, which will be a little different from what we heard in that we've heard in this book and the reality and imagination series. However, since they did mention about the multiverse and everything, yeah, it's safe to assume that Heroes of Dream is probably its own version of what we're hearing in the recent series that I've been writing there. So yeah, like I say, uh, it's quite a bit of world building there. Uh, Now I will say, as good as the world building is, I think this is where I think within I would say um within this anniversary book and then like trying to carry over into season 2 of Heroes of Dream when I actually did come out with 11 and 12, they actually started to have a bit of some plot holes there. Let's see. Matter of fact, I think I didn't think about this, but one, of course, when they're at the Hero Con. So at the Hero Con, Johnson and his friends, the Conquerors, they mentioned that they've written 2 of their books. The Weird Yet Normal Day into Boldly Go Beyond It All, which actually exists here in the real world. So okay, that's a possibility. But then later, when they're fighting Backbite, uh, there is a mention that let's see, we can oh yeah, there's a mention that they know who the Dream League members' identities are, and they're like, well, how do you know that? They say when they moved to Hollywood, they started looking at a show called Static Shock, which that's what I grew up with. And Johnson was inspired to make his own superhero adventures, and he came up with Star Striker, aka Samuel Lee Princeton, and his partner Target, also known as Brian, who eventually would meet with Sword Girl, known as Julie Yukashi, and Venom X, who was Calvin Waynes. The only difference was that in what they came up with, much like what I did, they had Bubble Girl instead of Bubbleina. So that's that kind of, I mean, like, is a if that's a possibility, there is kind of a plot hole with that. Let's see, go back again. Okay, so so, yeah, that let's see, say it made their own superhero adventures while they were in Hollywood. So let's see. It doesn't. Okay, so it doesn't say whether they publish the superhero adventure or not. So maybe. So I guess we could say that maybe they were going to publish this, but then they got busy writing their adventure as the books and stuff. Uh, the books and stuff. Where you're getting over there and all that. So they never did get around to making that series because first thing came to my mind is if Johnson them actually made this series, if they like they actually have a Star Striker slash Dream League series out, um, people would probably be watching that years later. And when Star Striker debuted in 2011 of Heroes of Dream, people would have probably like, wait a minute, there's a TV series about a hero called Star Striker, and his name is Samuel Lee Princeton. Yeah, yeah, you see where I'm going with that there. So, yeah, so the best assumption probably is like I said that they, even though they thought about it, they never did, produce it or get around to producing it due to being busy with the Reality Imagination series. Otherwise, people would have found out their secret identity from connecting those dots without even before unmasking them. So. Yeah, so that's the assumption. So, yeah, if not, if, otherwise we have a major plot hole. But apparently, yeah, there are going to start to have a few plot holes possibly in the future to come of this series had it kept going there. So, uh, but then, like I say, I mean, you take like with the MCU, as great as it is there, after Endgame, yeah, there's a lot that people had to keep up with, and that kind of causes plot holes in itself, and that's being produced by Marvel and Disney there, big time studio, not independent. So yeah, like I say, it is possible like I say, you got to try to be careful when you're story writing, though. Watching your like if you're writing something that's meant to have a continuity, yeah, you gotta make sure you know each of your books as you're writing it. That's one thing, like to say, with the books I'm writing currently with Yumiko, I'm trying to be careful of there. Knowing my continuity and everything. So that's one thing you got to be careful with in writing there does. Yeah, now unless you're writing something that doesn't really, that continuity is not really a big deal, sort of like SpongeBob or Looney Tunes or something like that, then that's a different story. I mean, you can have a little continuity in it, but maybe it's not such a big issue or anything. You're just writing random episodics there. So but if your writing requires continuity, then yeah, definitely be careful of that there. So all right. So now I've given you that little bit of advice. Let's go on into this here. Chapter chapter 11. The game begins. Johnson, Samuel, and Naomi gathered some things together, which included say which included a video camera, video game system with the game Magic Journey, checkers, chess, and dominoes. As they were gathering them, Naomi and Samuel noticed a lot of interesting nostalgic items there. It's a very weird looking DVD player, said Naomi. How do you put the DVD inside? Mm. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's right. 'Cause Naomi's like 5 right now, and yeah, meaning she would have been born in 2006 there, so because it's 2011, yeah, so she would 2006, and yeah, like I say, yeah, she possibly would not have seen a VCR, like I say, because someone like now obviously Johnson has, because 2001 he was in middle school, uh, and So look like Samuel kind of knows because he's 8 years old. So he let's see 2011. So he was obviously born in 2003. Yeah, so they were still so the VCR. They still had both the VCRs and the DVD players, which they kind of still did even when Naomi was born. But like I say, she's a little baby, and at this point, chances are we can assume that her folks didn't get a VC, or if they had one, probably didn't have it anymore. Now some people like me I still got mine. Um, at the moment, it's kind of showing black and white. At the moment, it's not really fully functional, but yeah, it's still here at the house. But probably won't be around much longer. Uh, yeah, no, hopefully one day in the future I find a way to convert the VHS as I have to DVDs or Blu-rays because a lot of them are home movies there, like like our wedding tape and stuff like that. So now they gather a lot of interesting nostalgic items there. This so Johnson was about to answer the question until Samuel interrupted. I know what it is. It's a VCR. Before DVDs, people like my dad played what's called videotapes. Samuel played one of the videotapes for Naomi. She looked in amazement at a marvelous wonder. Wow, that sounds kind of ancient. Johnson chuckled a bit. Well, if you think that's ancient, check these out. He shows Samuel and Naomi an audio cassette tape. Oh yeah, the tape cassettes there. Bet you can't even guess what this one is. Samuel tried to think. Wait, don't tell me. He thought some more. Then he said, it's a mini videotape for mini VCRs, right? No, said Johnson. It's an audio tape cassette player for audio recording. In order to record with it, you need an audio tape cassette player. See, he showed them what he was talking about and demonstrated how it worked. Samuel and Naomi were surprised. After that, everyone got their stuff and got ready to head out. So where does our journey start? Said Samuel. We're going to need you to take us to the supermarket, replied Johnson. Me? Said Samuel, but how? Johnson led Samuel and Naomi outside and revealed a car covered with food decorations of different foods from the food group of the food pyramid. Samuel and Naomi gasped as Johnson said, the food mobile. So, yeah, got some VHS, VCR, say tape cassette and tape cassette player, and you got the food mobile. Quick, the food mobile. mm. I get to drive the food mobile like Samuel in excitement. You got it, buddy, said Johnson. Said Johnson. If you got all the food cat's abilities and knowledge, driving this car will be easy. You'll automatically know what to do. Sort of like the Power Rangers driving the Zords. It comes like second nature. Suddenly, Naomi noticed the Z Shadow soldiers coming back into the driveway. You better hit the road now. Johnson and Samuel looked and saw the Z Shadow soldiers as well. They quickly got inside the foodmobile with Naomi. Once inside, it instantly activated and automatically put everybody's seatbelts on and backed out, knocking the Z Shadow soldiers like bowling pins. That was cool, said Samuel. Steering wheel and gas pedal came out towards Samuel. Okay, I think I can do this, he said. He looked nervously at the steering wheel and the pedals, along with the different button controls. Thought to himself, I hope I can. Meanwhile, Riley, Julie, Zayden, and Sakura woke up in another area of the game, which was the kitchen of Marty and Gloria Douglas's house. Sakura informed everybody that they should head to the supermarket, but Zayden insisted that they should get to the Shreve Globe Cocoa Factory. This led to a major argument. Sakura started by saying, the supermarket is the first stage of the game from either here or the bingo lounge or Johnson's house. The bingo. Zayden rolled his eyes and said, "We don't have time to go one level at a time. This is our game, and if we take some shortcuts, we'll get the backbite in no time, kick his can, and get everything back to normal quick and easy. No, Zayden, we have to play the game. We have to play this game. Say we have to play this game. The right way," demanded Sakura. "Do you think Backbite is going to play the right way? The quicker we get to him, the faster we can end this. That's what he wants us to do. Play it your way, and he'll have a trap waiting for us. Or my way will help us get the jump on him." "Okay, you guys, that's enough," said Julie, getting between Sakura and Zayden. "Look, both of you guys have good ideas that make a lot of sense. However, if Backbite has taken control of the game, he'll be waiting for us no matter what we do. So I think we should split into two groups. Two of us will do Zayden's plan, and the other two will do Sakura's plan." "Well, I guess you could say, yeah, that's a good point." Yeah, boy. Julie has to jump between the two of them now. Still arguing. "Actually, Julie," started Riley, "maybe we should stay together and go with Mr. Kura's plan." "What?" exclaimed Julie and Zayden together. "I'm just saying, Mr. Kura has the best plan here," explained Riley. "If we play the game the right way together, then we'll find the others better than we would if we split up. A backbite might prevent Mr. Zayden's plan from working." Mr. Kura and Mr. Zayden. Everyone thought for a moment, and Julie said, "I guess you have a point." "Oh man," said Zayden. Sakura smiled. "Well, then it's settled. We'll start with the supermarket. That was a really mature decision, Riley." Riley blushed and said, "Thank you. You're quite welcome. Now let's go get Mr. Douglas's truck." As Sakura and Zayden headed out the front door, Riley fantasized a moment about Sakura and him having dinner together, seeing a movie, running through an open field with squirrels around, playing basketball, and years later becoming an adult and marrying her. Yeah, you might. Well, she's already an adult, Riley. Yeah, buddy, you might want to. She's probably gonna find somebody before you become an adult, though. Just saying. The fantasy was interrupted when Riley excuse me, noticed Julie looking at him with that look on her face. Riley, you do realize it's not likely Sakura would want to wait for you to become old enough to marry her, right? Riley sighed as Julie headed out the front door. As he and Julie headed out the front door and said, "Hey, I can dream, can't I?" Everyone got outside and started getting in the truck. Just as Julie was about to get in, it was knocked. It she was knocked into an invisible. She was knocked into a tree by an invisible force. And after that, an army of mimes showed up and locked Sakura, Riley, and Zayden in the truck and blasted it to the sky, say, with an invisible rocket. Julie started to fly after the truck, but the mines fired liquid kryptonite at her, causing her to fall back down in pain. These mines come prepared. Tyrone, Tiana. Meanwhile, Tyrone, Tiana, Brian, and Calvin were in another area of the game, finishing a game of bingo at the bingo line in order to get to the supermarket as well. "B10," said the host Rob Gardner. "Bingo, I win," shouted Tiana, jumping up and down. As Riley daydreaming about Sakura there. I guess she's his Wendy. It's like that kid that has a crush on his teacher. And there's Rob Gardner. I can see him there. Okay. And of course, this is what's about to show up is that monster turtle again. Well, come on down and claim your fabulous grand prizes, said Rob. Diana danced the conga on her way down to Rob, and once she got there, he showed the prizes she won. Say, first of all, you have won. Before he could finish, an army of monster turtles ripped the roof off the line. Oh, we got an army of these monster turtles and started attacking. Oh, I almost forgot there. Hang on a second, everybody. I forgot to let EJ know I'm live there. Let's see. Oh, I'm gonna voice command. I forgot to tell you, bro. I'm live streaming now. Okay, paste that and send. All right. Okay, so now he knows there. So before he could finish, an army of monster turtles ripped the roof off the lounge and started attacking. Meanwhile, the Finians, Krog, Arg, and Egog took Floyd, Ellen, and Nose to the planet Wildon to look for Bruno. The planet was inhabited by lots of magical talking animals. Floyd, Ellen, and Nose were amazed by what they saw. After a while of searching, they found Bruno by a tree in a trance, but he wasn't wearing his Mighty Morphin Green Ranger costume. It's in a trance, you say. Floyd and Ellen rushed to greet Bruno. Bruno, thank God we found you, son. Is everything okay, dear? Bruno didn't speak. He stayed in the trance, sitting completely still. Hey, snap out of it, buddy. Nose trying to get Bruno to snap out of the trance, but it wouldn't work. Just then, the Phineas sensed the powerful, dangerous energy coming from Bruno. Oh, something's not right here, exclaimed Krog. What's wrong? Said Floyd, Ellen, and Nose looked at they asked as they looked at the Finians, but before the Finians could answer, Bruno instantly stood up and looked at her body. There were multiple voices whispering continuously in his head, saying things similar to the sinister voice that he had heard talking to him earlier. Oh my goodness. Now that's the voices in his head starting to make me think of all the pretty much a lot of stuff from the Spider-Man live action villains there, like Green Goblin. Somebody there? Follow the cold shiver down your spine. Over here. That's it. It's me. Your greatest creation. Look at all we just made happen. Spider. We, you and me. And there is one. Perhaps what if he were to join us? Spider. You know, there are millions of people in this city. I could squash you like a bug. But I'm giving you an offer. Think about it, hero. Yeah, there's that. Then there was voices from those mechanical arms that Doc Ock had. They didn't really show what that voice sounded like, but you probably have to kind of imagine what the voice was like. And then of course Venom, obviously. Oh, wait, what is wrong? Oh. Hang on a second. Say, well, why? I just replied to a comment there. Or why? Mention about Batman. Because I'm Batman. Okay. So anyway, yeah, we can assume what Doc Ock's voices sound like. Venom. Um, well, yeah, pretty much Toby Graves or whoever it was that played him in Spider-Man 3. Of course, he had a better voice in the Venom movie. We are Venom. Parasite, apologize. And then, of course, there was the Lizard. He had a voice in his head. So that was kind of odd there. I guess you could say that that would be possibly logical there, but I just kind of assumed that he either went savage in some universes or he's dead. I guess there was sort of another personality there if you go by the animated series there. But then of course Electro that was all in the trailer for Amazing Spider-Man 2. They shot at me. They hated me. They laughed at me. They mocked at me. They started at me and the Spider Man. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. Voices in your head. Yeah, not a good sign there. Chapter 12 Supermarket Chaos. Back in the game, Samuel drove the foodmobile to the supermarket with Naomi and Johnson. Suddenly, they all came to a red light and stopped. Oh boy. Samuel noticed a supermarket not too far away. As soon as the light changed, it'll be smooth sailing from here, said Johnson. Samuel Naomi, don't count on it, said Johnson. Samuel Naomi gasped. What do you mean? Asked Naomi. Johnson explained. That light stays on red. It never changes. We're going to have to run it. Are you sure about that? Asked Naomi. Positive, but you must hurry before Johnson could finish. The day changed into night, causing zombies to approach slowly from behind. Samuel started to move forward, but a railroad track appeared with a slow-moving train in front of them. Oh Lord! Talk about a hard game to play. We got that there. Then turns to night, and the zombies appear. There's the hideous seals. Naomi became a little nervous. What are we gonna do, guys? Wait, instantly Samuel got an idea. Hang on, everyone. Voice commands on. Voice command systems online. Voice command online now, said the foodmobile computer. Computer, activate Jello wheels. Jello wheels? Instantly, the wheels of the foodmobile became like jello, allowing it to bounce over the train toward the supermarket. Once they arrived, the jello wheels deactivated. Suddenly, more zombies came out the supermarket at them. I've always wanted to do this, said Samuel excitedly. Computer, launch exploding rotten egg bombs now. The foodmobile fired hundreds of rotten egg bombs at the zombie, causing confusion as it hit them. Johnson and Naomi were impressed. Great job, said Naomi. I'll say, said Johnson. Now let's get inside. You got it. Getting more excited over his victory. Johnson noticed Samuel pushing down hard on the gas pedal. Wait a second. He tried to call out, but it was too late. Samuel drove the foodmobile into the supermarket, knocking the zombies out the way the same way he did the Z Shadow soldiers. So where do we go now? He said, getting more excited. Before Johnson could answer, a skeleton jumped in the front window, causing everyone to scream. Then several skeletons jumped on the foodmobile from all over and started breathing fire on it. Oh boy. It seemed like it was all over until Gina appeared dressed like Sword Girl and teleported everybody outside the supermarket. Gina, Sword Girl, at your service, she said. Thanks a lot, said Naomi. Hey, that was a great save, said Johnson. I'll say, said Samuel. Suddenly, the whole supermarket went up in fire as the skeletons jumped outside, covered in flames. I got this, said a voice. It was Alicia. dressed as Vanna X riding a helicopter that had a crate labeled Beach in Your Own Home Kit. She released the crate, and when it hit the supermarket, it burst into extreme light. And once the light faded away, changing the night back in the day, the area around the supermarket became a beach. And the flaming skeletons fell into the ocean, putting their flames out. Oh boy, remember that beach in your own home, kid. So this is what two of the Atlantean sisters look like, dressed as some of the other League members. Gina as Sword Girl and Alicia as Vanna Max there. Mm. Right. Mm-hmm. Huh. Okay, so wait a second here. He wasn't. Maybe Batman had his full costume there. Oh boy. Okay. Mm. But anyway, Johnson approached the ocean and held out his hands and said, "Ultra freeze!" Instantly, the ocean froze into solid ice, making it become like an ice rink. Now that's cold, said Alicia, landing the helicopter. Ice cold, to be precise, said Naomi. Suddenly, the skeletons broke free out the ice. Oh boy. And the zombies popped out the sand. Boy, you're mad you see this at the beach. Everyone got back inside the helicopter and flew off into the sky. Moments later, an army of fighter jets were closing in as a voice on the radio said, "You won't escape that easily." It was backbite. "That's what you think," said Naomi. She took out her sonic screwdriver and used it to deactivate all the fire jets. The fighter jets, causing them to fall to the ground. Just as everyone created just as everyone celebrated their victory, a giant zombie grabbed the helicopter. Samuel made the zombie release them by throwing a banana ring with hot sauce in it in his eyes. Whoa, a banana with hot sauce. Now that's creative there. I know, sounds a bit silly, but that's creative there. I mean, think about it. Would not expect that a banana hitting you in the face and it's got hot sauce in it. Mm. Yep, the zombie moaned in pain. Alicia blasted the zombie with her X1, making the banana peel stretch and wrap around it like a snake. then more zombies, then more giant zombies appeared. Oh boy, so it make me think like that Cyclops from the Odyssey. when he says, "Nomad hurt me! Nomad is hurting me!" Gina went out to fight the zombies with her swords, but eventually they became too much for her alone. Just then, she was aided by Marty and Gloria, flying and blasting the zombies with missiles from the vacuum jetpacks. Both Granny and Big Papa. Like, soon, the giant zombies were defeated, and everyone flew off to the next level. "You won't get very far," said Backbite. "I'll make sure of that." Chapter 13. Double Major Double Trouble Plus. Back at the front yard of Marty and Gloria's house in the game, the mines pummeled Julie in her weakened state due to the liquid kryptonite. Just when they were about to finish her, Marty's ice cream truck came falling from the sky and crashed in the driveway, causing a huge explosion. Ooh, it was a little, okay, I thought it was a little something in the book. Causing a huge explosion that blew everyone several houses away. Julie ended up landing in the middle of the intersection. Suddenly, Some 18-wheelers started heading towards her, and at the last minute, someone swooped down and got her out the way. Oh, I wonder who that could be. Hmm. Okay. Mm. Okay. So anyway, they back. There's like people commenting to me while I'm in this live stream here. Mm. Okay. Sorry about that. There. All right. So there was a giggle. It was bubbling to address the Star Striker. How about say Julie knows Star Emblem next Star Striker? How about Star Bubbles? Said Bubblina. For I strike like a star within the bubbles. Bubblina is Star Striker. There's a ring to it. Star Bubbles. Julie groaned and said, let's see, I don't know, but where are Riley, Zayden, and Sakura's son? I took care of I took care of that, said a voice. It was Holly dressed as Target. Zayden, Riley, and Sakura were with her as well. She explained more. I protected them with using force fields the force fields we used this morning in space. Oh, they still got those active. The Holly target is right on target. You can see the pick the star bubbles there. Yep. And they got the Holly target. Not bad cosplays there. And a very good use of their powers. Which I guess because of those whole gadget thing, that explains how they was able to access those force fields there. Boy, they reply quick, yeah. Okay. Okay. Yes. Huh. So they took the post away. Okay. well that well that was convenient there. Yeah, just had to go on and cut that off there because that was getting a little out of hand there. All right. Everyone look Everyone looked at Bubblina strangely inside. Su- Suddenly, an army of gigantic robotic spiders approached the area. Everyone got into battle position, and Julie said, "Can anyone get this liquid kryptonite off of me?" "Allow me," said Riley. Then he whistled and called out, "Tinkerbell!" At that moment, a fairy known as Tinkerbell appeared. Riley gave the command, "See if you get that nasty liquid kryptonite off of Julie." It's an interesting looking Tinkerbell. I'll show her in a minute. There, Tinkerbell nodded, smiled, and magically removed the liquid kryptonite off of Julie, allowing her to get her strength and power back. After the battle began, Bubblina and Holly destroyed several of the robot spiders with bar spinners and target boomers. Julie destroyed more of them with her super strength and heat vision. Riley taunted and teased the robot spiders, causing them to crash and blast each other. Sakura and Zayden concentrated and used the flames from the destroyed robot spiders to fire fireballs at more of them. Yeah, pretty good use of what they got there. Riley noticed the mines getting back on their feet and about to fire cannons, so he flew over to them and created a distraction, allowing them to blast more of the robotic spiders. Almost like how Peter Pan did in our school play. "Hook, you codfish, over here, baboo, baboo." The mines became so annoyed that one of the lady mines shouted at Riley, "Would you hold still, you little leprechaun?" Oops. The mime spoke. Everyone stopped and everyone's attention at the lady mime that spoke. "Mimes aren't supposed to speak," said Riley. Tinkerbell flew over and magically made a piece of tape appear over the lady mime's mouth. However, she became very cross, ripped the tape off, and shouted, "Oh, you got oh, you got jokes, huh, Tom Thumb?" "It's Peter Pan, Miss Black and White Bozo," said Riley. "Prepare to be Peter canned." She took out an invisible dagger and charged at Riley. They just they he took out his visible dagger, because Peter Pan does have a dagger, and they went into battle. All the other mines joined in, along with a few of the remaining robot spiders. Julie took out the spiders, and everyone else battled the mimes in combat. It wasn't long before the mimes became exhausted, so Julie took a deep breath and blew them all away. Everyone celebrated. And there I have a theory that because of the power that Julie actually, that she naturally has, psychic abilities and stuff like that, and Sword Girl, she actually she has the possibility of beating Superman. With her psychic abilities, she could focus the psychic energy to mimic Superman's strength. Yeah, so Sword Girl could actually go one on one with Superman. At the bingo lounge in the game, Tiana, Tyrone, Calvin, and Brian battled the monster turtles, but he used his shell to block their attacks. The battle seemed to be in the turtles' favor until a blur appeared and rushed around him rapidly. It was Sunrisha dressed as Dashtail. Soon she made him dizzy, and Crystal, dressed as Night Fox, showed up and froze him in ice. And once the turtle was frozen, Brian created a mega energy spear in his hands and threw it at him. When it hit him, he broke into several pieces. Then more monster turtles appeared. Oh boy. So, yeah, you got Tinkerbell there. And then, of course, Sunrisha is Dashdale and Crystal is Night Fox there. So it's a cat dressed as Dashdale, a cat dressed as in a squirrel costume. And then Wait, more monster turtles up here. Calvin, said Tyrone, you up for some ice ball with your sword? Calvin knew what Tyrone was thinking and nodded. Yes. Tyrone and Tiana made the ice pieces raise into the air. Calvin spun his sword around, ready around to charge the magic energy in it, while the ice pieces got into position. Once the time was right, Calvin unleashed the energy blaze similar to the psychic energy blaze Sword Girl used before, and the blaze sent the ice pieces into the monster turtles, turning them into ice statues when they hit. After that, Brian fired multiple energy spears to destroy the turtles. Boy, a combination between two a Nightbox and Dashtail cosplay. Well, actually, a combination with Ice and Link from Legend of Zelda, and to finish it off with Mega Man. Back on Wild Bruno stood up slowly. His parents, Nose, and the Phineas watched nervously as his eyes glowed green. Oh, I think I know what's about to happen. He held out his Mighty Morphin Power Ranger Morpher, and with the Dragon Power Coin inside, he said, "It's Morphin time! Dragon Zord!" Dun dun. Oh dear. And we know what's about to happen here there. In a flash of green light, Bruno was in his Mighty Morphin Green Ranger costume. Everyone else was amazed and confused. Bruno looked at them and took out his dragon dagger and jumped toward them to attack. Like this was like a reference to Green with Evil. Yeah. Floyd quickly blocked him with his shield. Captain America versus the Green Ranger, which bounced Bruno back several feet into the ground. Ellen came up to Bruno and took the dragon dagger away from him. He quickly jumped up and tried to take it back, but Ellen kept it out of his reach. Mary Poppins don't play. Then she grabbed the hold of him and gave him a stern look and said, "Stop right now, Bruno Rogers." Bruno stopped a moment and Ellen continued, "I don't know what's controlling you, but you cannot let it continue. Be strong and fight against it right this instant, and I mean it." Nose and the Phineas were amazed at Ellen's sternness, and she hasn't talked like that since Bruno had that tantrum when he was 3, the day he couldn't have the Eagle Man action figure. Well, like the old saying go, Mama don't play, said Nose. The voices spoke in Bruno's head again, causing him to hold his head in pain. When he saw the images of the kids, say, back in the past laughing at him, Bruno became frightened and hurt on the inside, which led him to becoming more angrier than before. He jumped up toward Nose and Floyd and went into hand-to-hand combat with them. They tried to get him to stop, but it did no good. Oh yeah. And so yeah, he morphed into it's morphin' time. He even got the little do-rag like Tommy had sometimes. To say, oh boy. And let's just say this is what he's seeing in his mind. Nose and his dad as monsters there. Almost kind of remind me of a reference to Digimon Frontier when Takuya had lost control of the beast spirit there. Oh, I got a text. Okay, let me turn that down so I don't get no copyright here. Yeah, I can still hear it vibrate though. Yeah, and then also remember that Green with Evil. Now it's time for the Green Ranger. Long live Empress Rita. Yeah. Chapter 14. Bruno conquers his deceptions. Here we go. Oh, okay. Got a reply. And we got, I bet I know, it's EJ! And, oh yeah, Green Ranger was, Bruno turned into the Green Ranger. I don't know if you saw it. I'm just going to show it again. The Green Ranger there. and you remember how Thor's hammer collided with Cap's shield? You imagine the dragon dagger colliding with the shield. Dun, no. Green Ranger versus Captain America. That'll be a battle there. Tommy, stop! You don't know what you're doing. Read us, my queen. Or I guess if it was in the Marvel universe, Tommy might be controlled by, I would say, Thanos probably. Yeah, like sort of like the way they have a theory that Thanos was probably controlling Loki. Okay. Chapter 14, Bruno conquers the deceptions. Back in the game, the Dream League and the Conquerors went from level to level, succeeding. Hey, oh yeah, yeah. Especially considering Marvel did make some Power Ranger comics there, so yeah, you could. I know they got comics where the Power Rangers have had crossovers with the Justice League, but yeah, they've all. But seeing how they've been made by Marvel Comics to made some Power Ranger comics, yeah, they could very well have a version of them with the Avengers there. So back, they were succeeding at each one, regardless of how hard it was. Backbite and Warp Tag watched on them, they on their monitors from the secret hideout, and they were upset and cross. Backbite was so upset that he broke his glass of root beer he had been drinking. Ugh. These blasted heroes are becoming an enormous nuisance, Backbite shouted. No matter what I make to stop them, they keep finding ways to win. If this could if they continue this, my plans will be ruined. Not to mention our plans to rule every universe, said Wartag. He noticed Bruno fighting his parents, the Phineas and Nose. But it looks like some of the civilians are on the verge of destroying each other. Backbite looked at the footage and thought for a minute. After a while, he said, "Hmm, good. Deal with the civilians. They might be useful to my plan. Meanwhile, I'll go make some changes to this game." Ortag grinned. You got it. The two left the hideout. While Backbite started changing the game, Wartag went to Wildon to watch the outcome of the fight. He even brought some popcorn to enjoy while watching. Almost like when Loki was watching Iron Man and Thor fight each other. And first thing Christina said was, I bet Loki wish he had some popcorn. Yeah, and even how it should have ended. He even made a joke about that scene. You're hello, you're still here? Yes. Why didn't you run away while we settled our differences? I'll never tell. Okay, we are not taking him back to base. He is definitely up to something. So, man, out of out of all the Heroes of Dream episodes I've seen so far, started nose while barely dodging some blows. I never expected this kid to fight like this. Suddenly, a beam of light hit Bruno and shined all over the area, causing everyone to shield their eyes. Bruno came to himself and removed his helmet, looked around. He was in an unknown area surrounded by light. And there's always a moment where the Rangers have to take their helmets off. Hmm. Yep. Bruno Rogers, said a voice. Bruno looked and saw the masked boy with angel wings from earlier. Oh, this guy. Who are you? Asked Bruno. You can call me the masked angel for now, he answered. Masked angel? Are you a friend of the Dream League? Are you a friend of the Dream League's guardian angel Yiro? Sort of. Well, what's going on? You've been constantly tormented recently by some dark enemies that you'll soon come to face to face with and recognize. Suddenly it came to Bruno. He remembered the fight that he had and the dreams from the voices from earlier. Then he felt really bad and said, "Oh man, I really messed up and made a fool of myself. Don't down yourself anymore, Bruno. Everyone in this entire world makes mistakes, but if you learn from your mistakes, you can do better, and you will become a better person in life. Also, despite the darkness in your past, you can overcome them in the name of Jesus and do the best you can to make the light shine in your future. Can I really make things better for myself? Doesn't sound easy at all. I tried my best to succeed, but I failed. Don't give up. You have to keep trying until you finally succeed. Remember in the Bible how Pharaoh constantly refused to release the children of Israel, no matter how many plagues God instructed Moses to do. He felt just like you. Yeah, he sure did. Yeah. But God told him to trust in him and not give up until eventually Israel was free. So, like Moses, you have got to trust in God for the will and the strength to not give up, and you'll be more than a conqueror. And he also told that to David too. Yeah, when he was on the run from Saul. Yeah, he's like Saul gonna get me, God. I got you, David. I got you. Just keep going where I tell you, and I got him. Okay, all gonna be over soon. Don't worry about it. So Bruno thought deeply and realized what needed to be done. He got on his knees and prayed, Lord God, I come to you asking in your son Jesus' name to give me strength and courage, the ability to overcome my weakness in life, and not only succeed, but be more than a conqueror. Help me not to give up and keep pushing forward to succeed in the things that are in your will for me to succeed in. In Jesus' name, amen. The masked angel smiled. Amen indeed. Back on Wild On, the Finians, Nose, Floyd, and Ellen were once again looking for Bruno until they felt the ground shake. And then they heard an evil laughter and saw three giant robots labeled with minus symbols. Oh, these robots ain't working for that minus guy and Shark Boy and Lava Girl, are they? What in the world are those? Asked Nose. Then a holographic split screen appeared, revealing the three alphabet shaped beams. Hello, hopeless villain, said hopeless civilian, said one of them. I am D. And these are my associates, E and F. Thanks to Bruno's negative energy he's been giving off, our negadrones will crush you. I don't think so, said another voice. It was Bruno with his helmet back on and standing on a high tree branch. Oh, you know what he's about to do if he's standing up on a high area. He took out his dragon dagger, changed it to a dragon flute, and played the tone to awaken a giant known as the Dragon Zord. Bum 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 ba da bum 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 ba da bum. The Dragonzord rose from the nearby sea on the planet, giving a giant big roar, which makes sense that he's on Wild Hunt now. Bruno continued playing the flute until the Dragonzord marched up to the Negadrone, ready for battle. And here's Bruno praying there. And you got the Negadrones out here. D, E, and F. Oh boy. Don't want to get those on your report card. And then that's the best. Kind of not too bad, but it's kind of the best I was able to get the Dragonzord drone. But hey, at least it's fair use. Yep. Because it's my own. Because like I say, I didn't get them. I didn't just get the original drawing from Power Rangers. So yeah, this is say my drawing of it there. Ooh, so he's ready for battle. D, E, and F laugh. It'll take more than your giant toy dragon to beat us, Mach D. We'll crush him along with the civilians, said E. Almost kind of remind me of that joke from the Grumblebee when he said, oh, what you think that sword's gonna beat me? I bet that thing isn't even real. Thanks, thanks to your negative energy, you failure, said F. It's it's you who's about to be crushed, exclaimed Bruno. I am not a failure. In the name of Jesus, I'm more than a conqueror, and I'm gonna prove it. And Bruno played a victory tone on the dragon flute. Bum, 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 bum. This caused the Dragonzord to light up and successfully battle the Negadrone. And with his abilities, which included missiles from his claws, razor sharp bites, and his awesome drill tail, yeah, everyone cheered in no time as the Negadrones were destroyed, causing D, E, and F to fall to the ground. And you know how that Dragonzord be fighting because of the way it was built. Like, dun dun, the tail and stuff. Then the finger missile. Doink, 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 doink. Yeah, that whole only other thing missing is when you take that barricade. Bruno jumped down to the ground to face them. Nose and Floyd came beside Bruno to join them. Mind if we join in, son? Asked Floyd. Only if you guys can handle it, said Bruno. Oh, trust me, we can handle that and then some, said Nose. Now the Green Rangers teamed up with Cap and Falcon. Say, all right then, said Bruno, then let's do it. D, E, and F got up to face Bruno, Floyd, and Nose, ready for round two. The battle was tough and fierce. D, E, and F constantly fired negative energy lasers from their hands. Floyd reflected E's power back at him with his shield, which would double the impact. All right, flag man, said E, using his negative energy to create a sword. Let's cut you down to size the way George Washington cut the cherry tree down. Ellen took a sword out of her magic bag and called to Floyd to catch as she tossed it to him. Oh, Captain America gets a sword. Neat. Hey, why not? He got a shield. He caught it and went into a sword fight with E. Yeah, imagine seeing a sword, Captain America in a sword fight there. Nose moved so swift and agile that F couldn't even blast them. However, Nose constantly got F with a karate chop, a kick, a punch, and some other movements. Nose Nose kind of pulling a little bit of a hip hop keto a little bit there. Then Nose got an idea. He made the area around him become like a setting for a music video. F looked confused for a moment as the song Can't Touch This started to play. And the Fenians became the backup dancers and Nose danced in the center as he said, Can't touch this. You got Cap beating E here. And then Nose like MC Hammer. Can't touch this. Can't touch this. My. Say, listen, thank you for blessing me. The feet to ride with the close to ride there. MC Hammer, don't MC can't touch this. Oh, hold up. I gotta do it. I gotta do this. Let's see. Can't touch this. Yeah, I gotta do this. Yeah. You can't just mention this song and not do and not do a little bit of it. Oh wait, here we go. Can't touch this. Can't touch this. Can't touch this. My. Hey, music hits me so hard, makes me say, oh my Lord, thank you for blessing me with a mind to ripe and to hype beat. It feels good when you're down. Super dope, homeboy, Oak Town. I'm known as such. And this beat, you just can't touch. I told you, homeboy. Can't touch this. Yeah, this is how we living, you know. Can't touch this. Look in my eyes, man. Can't touch this, dude. You let me bust the funky lyrics. Can't touch this. Fresh kids can't do pants. You got it like that now. You want to dance, so move out your seat. Get a fly girl to catch this beat while it's rolling. Hold on. Pump it up a little bit and let them know it's going like that. Cold on our vision, so fall right back and let them know you're too much. This beat, you can't touch this. Oh, I told you can't touch this. Why are you standing there, man? You can't touch this. Sound the bells, man. Sound the bell and school's in, sucker. Can't touch this. Give me a. And then, of course, the break it down. Oh, wait, stop. Hammer time. Stop. Damn me, where you go? I'm having way too much fun over here, guys. I get in the zone. It's hard to stop. So this angered F so much that she unleashed a giant spear of negative energy at Nose. F can't hang with this here. F trying to F hating. F is hating. Nose stopped dancing and held out his hand and said, "Stop!" Suddenly the spear stopped, and Nose took out a hammer and said, "Nose hammer time." And he whammed the spear back at F, which knocked her into E, making them both unconscious. The power of dance. Hey, say it worked for Zach. Bruno changed his dragon flute into a dagger and battled with D, who was stronger than E and F. This caused Bruno to struggle for a bit, so Ellen took out her iPhone and played a song to motivate Bruno. I bet we know what song that's going to be. And the song went, dun, 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 dun. Go, Green Ranger, go! Go, Green Ranger, go! Goldar's gonna get you tonight. Dun, 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 dun. Don't let evil Rita put a spell on your mind. Go, Green Ranger, go. Go, Green Ranger, go, Green Ranger, go, go. Go, Green Ranger. Bruno continued the battle, and as the song continued, he got the advantage. Once the song was about to finish, DEF's power ran out. Dun, dun, dun. However, just before Bruno could finish them off, a meteor hit with the force from the impact blew everyone around back. Oh boy. It look like it got serious now. Chapter 15, Power Play, the Conquering Champion. Back in the game, Backbite had made so many changes that each Dream League member and Conqueror had lost and ended up in Backbite's dungeon. Meanwhile, Warp Tag approached Bruno and his parents and the Nose and the Fenians. Who in the world are you? Asked Bruno. I'm Warp Tag, and it's time to eliminate all of you. I don't think so. He charged at Warp Tag, but Warp Tag snickered and created a portal that sent the Dragon Zord crashing into Bruno, causing his costume to change back into his regular. Oh my god! So he just practically fired the Dragon Zord at him. Ugh. Everyone rushed to assist him, but Warp Tag made more portals that sent him crashing them into the ground behind them. Then he made another portal, bringing the New Orleans Convention Center into the sky above everyone in it, above everyone, and it started falling toward them. The Fenians quickly used their psychic powers to stop the building from hitting them, but their strength wasn't enough to hold it. Ellen went in her magic bag again and said to Floyd and Nose, "Think fast." Once she got their attention, she pulled out two Captain America shields and tossed them at Nose and Floyd. The shields instantly grew and became giant size when they caught them. She gave Floyd a she also gave Floyd a jetpack so he could fly up and use the to the shields to help hold the building. Oh, that's right, because Nose got that Falcon flight there. Yeah. Wartag laughed at them as they struggled. You all are so amusing in your pathetic efforts. Bruno got up and saw what was happening and quickly changed his dragon dagger to a flute and played the tone to reawaken the Dragon Zord. Oh yeah, because you can do that even on more, just like Burai and the Sentai. Okay. So reawaken the Dragon Zord. At the same time, he fired green energy rays from his flute. Soon as Wartag turned around facing Bruno, the rays blasted him to the ground. Ah! This allowed the Dragonzord to move quickly rise and grab the building. Wartag became so cross that he opened the portal and sent both the Dragonzord and the building plunging into the sea, causing a tidal wave that washed everyone away several feet. After the wave ceased, Bruno got up and realized his dragon flute was gone. Uh-oh. Almost he made that dragon up here almost like what Lord Zed did when he got upset about the Thunder Zords. That impossible! They regained control of their Zords. Well, at least they won't be able to get the Dragon Zord. I'll send them back to the sea. Yeah, Lord Zed wasn't kidding around. Huh? Bruno say, looking for this, said Wartag, holding the dragon flute. He changed it into a dagger and threw it at Bruno. Just when it seemed like the end, the dagger and everyone else around Bruno froze. He looked puzzled. Almost reminded me of that dream I had that Jesus saved me in once. This guy was about to shoot me in the dream, and just when he was about to pull that trigger, everything froze, and Jesus showed up. Said, "Gabe, Gabe, wake up, Gabe, wake up." Yeah. Just when it seemed so, he looked puzzled and he saw a hero watch appear on his arm with a rewind, fast forward, play, and stop emblems on it. Is this a dream? He asked. The next minute, Hero appeared on the hero watch. No, you're not dreaming this, he said. He replied. You're about to become the hero. You're about to become the hero you once created, called Power Play. Power Play? Said Bruno. He thought for a minute, having a flashback. Took his mind back to when he was 6 and he came home from a rough day at school. Many of the kids had really teased and bullied him so badly that he came home in tears. When he finally stopped crying, he started to imagine himself as a superhero and began drawing what he imagined. The hero wore a blue suit and a purple cape with blonde hair and blue eyes, and he was able to fly. And he also had a hammer with the same emblems on it that were on Bruno's watch, called the remote hammer. The remote hammer gave him the ability to temporarily rewind, fast forward, freeze, and unfreeze time, and could fire energy lasers. When Bruno finished, he called the hero Power Play. Then the flashback ended with Bruno in shock. Well, Bruno, what is your decision? Bruno thought for a moment, then realizing the situation, he wanted to make himself stronger in life. Then he said, my decision is yes. In the name of Jesus, I will be a conqueror and not a failure. Then you know what you have to do, said Hero. Hero watch, exclaimed Bruno. He raised his hand up and said, heroic transformation. Then Bruno went to his heroic transformation sequence into his costume. Multiple rewind, fast forward, play, and stop emblems appeared in the background behind Bruno. And the emblem started materializing his costume on him, making him Power Play. Conquering champion, Power Play. Oh yeah, baby. There's that watch. And Bruno becomes power play. Dun 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 dun. Without power play appeared back in the area he was in earlier as Bruno. And without wasting any time at all, power play uses remote hammer to rewind time, making the dragon dagger go back at Warp Tag. Once it hit him, time unfroze and he fell to the ground. And everyone looked at in shock and amaze at power play. Who is that, X? Yeah, who is that, X Nose? It's Bruno, said Floyd and Ellen. Nose looked confused. Wait a minute, that can't be Bruno. But it is, said Egal. Bruno Rogers has become power play. His aura matches, said Krog. Warptag got up very angrily. Whoever, whoever you are, prepare to be defeated, he exclaimed. He he opened up the he opened the portal by power play and another by the sea, but power play used his remote hammer to freeze time again. Then he blasted Warptag with the hammer's laser near into the sea near the portal, unfreezing time. The portal sucked Warptag in like a whirlpool, and the impact of the hammer hitting the okay unfreezing time like a whirlpool when he came out the other portal toward power play, who knocked him unconscious with his hammer. The impact of the hammer hitting Warptag made a humorous squeaky sound and caused little birds to fly around his head. Squeaky! Bruno, called Ellen sternly. Power play flew over to it. Yes, Mom. I understand that this warp tag may be our enemy, but you're not supposed to severely hurt him. I know, Mom, said Power Play. That's why I designed the remote hammer to be like a toy squeaky hammer. It would only knock out our villains without really hurting them. Yeah, because a real hammer. Well, need I say more? Ellen smiled and hugged Power Play. Floyd said, "That's my boy." Nose looked to the readers and said, "Remember, kids, don't go around hitting other people with real hammers." A pause of silence as the writing appeared above Nose, saying, "A PSA from Nose and Heroes of Dreams." Remember, I did tell you Nose broke the fourth wall. Squeaky! Do 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 do. From Nose and Heroes of Dreams. After that moment, Warptag got even more upset. He and Powerplay went into battle 1-on-1. Powerplay had a major advantage by constantly freezing time to avoid Warptag's portals. Everyone rooted and cheered for him, but eventually Warptag became extremely tired and unable to continue battling, but he didn't want to give up. Powerplay saw this and tried to talk to Warptag, hoping to convince him to stop. "You won't defeat me," he said, breathing heavily. "I'm not a failure like you." "You only became a failure when you stopped doing what was right according to God's will," said Powerplay. "I learned that myself when I right before making the true friends I have now. If you change your ways, you could be a true conqueror too." "Fiddlesticks!" shouted Warptag, getting up. "Spare me your nonsense." "It's not nonsense," said Powerplay. "It's the truth. When you continue to do what's wrong, you eventually you'll lose." "That's right," said Nose. Hey, but I will have power above you," said Warptag. "That's what Backbite promised me, as long as I did what he commanded." Nose shook his head and continued. "Man, you gotta be careful who you trust, kiddo. This Backbite guy is pretty much like the devil himself when he tempted Adam and Eve to eating that fruit from the forbidden tree, as well as their son Cain and killing his brother Abel. Anytime you're being asked to do something that isn't right, just say no," said Ellen. Like say no to drugs there. "People will try to make you seem wrong for doing what's right. Say, but don't let that stop you," said Floyd. Yeah, especially not just, and that's not just with kids, but even with adults. Yeah, I would say so much, so there's so much stuff that you probably can guess. several things and be like that people will try to make it seem like you try to do the right thing, and they'll make it seem like you're doing the wrong thing. So Warp Tag didn't listen at all. He shouted at the top of his lungs, "Quiet! You people can't tell me what to do with my life. I do what I want to do. And right now, I'm going to send you into a light speed of so many portals, it'll send you all into oblivion." All right, Ebon. At that moment, the planet shook like an earthquake as Warp Tag floated into the sky. He used all his remaining strength to create the biggest portal ever, which started rapidly sucking things into it like a twister. Everyone tried to stop him, but Warp Tag didn't listen. Nose got an idea of how to stop him, but he wasn't too happy. But I guess he has to do it. He whispered the plan the power play. Power play agreed and looked at his parents and the Phineas. They could tell what he was thinking from the look on his face. "Do what you gotta do, son," said Floyd. With that said, Nose took out a pepper shaker that he used against the Gold Bull Cruncher. Power play got his remote hammer ready. As, as soon as Nose sniffed the pepper shaker, Power play used his hammer to fast forward him and Nose flying toward Warp Tag. And once they were in close range, Power play whammed Warp Tag with his hammer at the same time that Nose sneezed a mighty sneeze to send Warp Tag into the portal in order to close it. However, before the portal closed, it sucked Power Play and Nose inside. Everyone looked in shock and wept at the loss of the two. Oh boy. Yeah, it was a little bit bigger than I thought was going to happen there. Yeah, let's see. Yeah. Let's see. Wait. Am I going to finish this today? Yeah, I'm going to go and finish this here. Okay. We got time. Yeah. I know it's going to be a little lengthy, but I want to finish this here. Chapter 16, Backbite's ultimate plan for total domination. Backbite laughed in triumph when he found out what happened, as well as his recent success. "Yes," he shouted. "Yes! Victor! Victory is mine! 2 of the heroes have been eliminated, and I'm only one step away from getting rid of the other heroes. And then every universe, dimension, and their worlds will be mine to rule forever." Then he spoke on the speakers in the dungeon to say monologuing in a monologue for his evil say mono say to the speakers in the dungeon to monologuing in a monologue his evil plans of the Dream Leagues and Conquerors. Attention all of you pathetic mortal hero maggots. Before you meet your doom, observe my ultimate vision of total domination. Figures, said Samuel. You comic book villains always got to gloat about your big and bad evil schemes to take over the world. "Silence!" shouted Backbite. "As I was saying, I will create beings in my likeness to populate every universe, dimension, and their worlds. The beings I create will be called Yoris, which means superior. They will, and all the inhabitants will be slaves and serve my race for eternity." And yeah, it's pretty much just look like him. Not very big of a thinker there. "There's no way your plan's going to succeed," said Johnston. "I beg to differ," said Backbite. Everyone watched as Backbite created his Yoris. After they were created, Backbite marveled at his creation. Then a piano appeared, and one of the Yoris started to play some music for Backbite to sing his glories. Everyone groaned, and Gloria said, Please tell me he isn't about to start singing." Once Backbite began his song, Marty said, "Cat, dash it!" Almost like Dr. Carver and the Proud Family. "I will rule the world after I sing my song." "Song? What song?" If I ruled the world, I know this fool ain't gonna sing. I would make sure my clothes don't give any slack. If I ruled the world, I would treat people bad. That's a well-known fact. Imagine that and that. Now let me tell you a little something about me. Go ahead. So this is what he got. So actually, the song he's about to sing, actually, the rhythm of it was comes from this song that Captain Hook sang in my school play. uh, so this is the beat to it. Who, okay. Who's the superior beat of them all? Backbite, backbite. Who has caused all the heroes who fight me to fail? Cat, backbite, backbite. He is the mighty one. He's greatly won. And I will strike any who says that I am not the boss. You're the boss. Who's the superior being of them all? Backbite, backbite. Who's invincible? Who's unbeatable? Whose great power makes him highly favorable? Whose authority will reign over all there is and much more? Our great backbite. We adore backbite, backbite, go backbite. Backbite took a bow as the Uris applauded. Now let my ultimate reign over everyone and everything there is begin. Chapter 17, a heroic conquering showdown. Backbite was about to begin his takeover until he got hit on the head by a cane from an old man. The old man had a little boy who was crying loudly. Backbite turned around and shouted, "Hey, how dare you enter my lair, you foolish old man!" The old man hit Backbite's head again with the cane and shouted back louder, "You the foolish one here!" "I beg your pardon." "You heard me, Backbite." "It's Backbite." "Don't correct me, you big Clementine face bully." "Now listen up. It's supposed to be the big moment in the Heroes of Dream series and the first anniversary special with the new heroes and the cameo guest star, and you had to come mess everything up. And just look what you did to my grandson. He hadn't been he hadn't been this upset since last Christmas when I couldn't get him that Razor Scooter Pro model. Now now you want to ruin this anniversary for him? That's despicable. Despicable." But I'm not done speaking, you intergalactic citrus head. not not only are you upset at my grandson, but all the readers out there. Hey, and you don't want this series to get angry readers after one season and an anniversary. But Backbite looked at the grandson, crying harder, and tears coming from the old they no, there's tears coming out from the old man's eyes also, and he started to cry, feeling bad about what he had to do to the Dream League and Conquerors. Well, I didn't mean to. The old man interrupted and got right in Backbite's face. Now you apologize to my grandson and the readers for trying to mess up this anniversary special. That these kids have worked so hard for, along with their first crossover, and be sincere, and I mean it. Yeah, that same little trick Nose tried in book number 10, and also in a Christmas comic when Nose battled an evil Santa Claus. Boink. You mean it? And you better mean it too. Nose disguised as an old man. Old man Nose. Uh, Backbite was a bit shaken up by the demand. He threw up his hands and backed up a little in surrender and replied nervously, "Okay, okay, sir, I'll do it. Just please calm down." Backbite took a moment to calm down from crying and took several deep breaths to clear his throat and said to the grandson and the readers, um, listen, hey, listen, little guy. All the heroes of dream readers, please forgive me for trying to ruin the anniversary special. I just want all of you to know that I am deeply, truly sorry for the trouble that I have caused. And I simply, wait a second. Suddenly, Backbite heard laughter. He turned around and saw the old man and his grandson standing with the Dream League and Conquerors facing him and laughing with their regular clothes on. The old man did a spin change, revealing that he was Nose. Why, you two-timing big nose smarty pants tricking rascal! They shouted Backbite. You're gonna pay for that little stunt you pulled! Suddenly he paused, and the grandson did a spin change, revealing that he was Power Play. Hey guys, everyone meet Power Play, said Nose, also known as Bruno Rogers. That's Bruno, said the Dream League together. Yep, now we can all take care of Backbite together. Giro appeared on the Hero Watches, informing everyone to join together. He told the Dream League that they could access their new costumes now. So everyone got ready to transform. Marty and Gloria made their back vacuums appear on their backs. Next, the Conquerors called out their animal warriors. They called out animal warriors of Hitasunasuru, power merge. They unleashed and merged with their animal spirits as they did when they called out the name of their animal warriors. Nobisha, the graceful unicorn. Zyron, the soaring sun phoenix. Boxon, the thundering ox. Sagoku, the mighty ape. Yukan, the courageous lion. Conquerors ready. After that, the Dream League called out, Hero Watches. Heroic transformation. They get ready. Oh boy, it's on now, everybody. Well, they got everybody on here there. I think that's what? How many kids on here? Ooh, 5, 6, got 12 kids on here. Plus you got plus the addition of Nose and Power Play. Then we got the Conquerors and all that there. So, and of course, yeah, they going into their new costumes here. So it's gonna let the pictures speak on this one here. Yes, that's got that new costume like they showed earlier in the beginning of the book. And of course, okay, I'm trying to make sure where you can see it there. Okay. Oh, there we go. Sword Girl into her new costume, Vanamex in the heads there. You kind of make them look like Tuxedo Mask a little bit there. Got Dash Tail in the heads there. Knife, Naomi the Night Fox. Melody the Bubblina. Like kind of got a Sailor Moon like style, as well as with the other girl like Sun Risha there. And then of course you got all the others here, all the Atlantean sisters here. Holly, Holly, Alicia, Gina, and Crystal. After all the transformations were complete, each Dream League member said their phrases. Swiftly striking like a star, Star Striker. Right on target, Target. Honorable Samurai, Sword Girl. Strong but gentle, Bubblina. Clever and charming, Vantamix. Speeding Joe to the Wild, Dashtail. Shining light of the sun, Sunrisha. Chilling frost of the night, Night Fox. Joyous smiles, Holly, changing auras. Alicia, mighty agile. Gina, sparkling like the diamonds. Crystal, Dream League, ready. Dun, 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 dun. Well, it's the end game. Infinity War. Infinity War end game. After all the transformations were complete, everyone looked at Nose. Nose is it? Oh, what, y'all waiting on me? He took a brief moment and got an idea. Oh, okay, here I go. Nose battle transformation. Activate. Nose snapped his fingers and causing the song, Everybody was Kung Fu Fighting. Those kids were swift as lightning. Everybody was a little bit fighting. Next, Nose went through his transformation sequence. And first, multiple yin yang karate symbols appeared in the background behind Nose and materialized into his black belt karate suit. He showed off some moves. So he's the Antonio mentioned that he was the blind karate master there. So like a kung fu daredevil. Backbite was unfrozen at that moment. No more playing around, said Backbite. I will become the supreme master of every universe, and you heroes will not stand in my way. Welcome to your final battle. Then everyone was sent to a blank area of the virtual game, but it didn't stay blank for long. Soon it became the center of downtown Shreveport. Oh boy, I gotta do that big city battle. Convenient that it's a video game now. Backbite and his Yuris faced the Dream League, Conquerors and Nose, who were ready for the showdown. Yuri, show no mercy. Well, shall we show him what we got? Asked Nose. You better believe we will, answered Johnson. We're going to be more than conquerors in Jesus' name, you hear? Said Powerplay. That's right, said Tiana. Your so-called plan to take over stops here. Don't make me laugh, said Backbite. Star Striker, you care to do the honors? Asked Johnson. It'll be my pleasure, said Star Striker. Dream League, Conquerors, and Nose. Let's take Backbite and his Yuris down. Everyone charged into battle into groups in different areas. First group, Sakura, Sunrisha, and Alicia pursued some of the Yuris in downtown Shreveport Library. Sunrisha got an idea. She whispered it to Sakura and Alicia. She flew toward the Yuris and stuck out her tongue. Try to catch me if you can, you ugly Clementine heads. I like Clementines, but not these guys though. As she led the Yuris up to the roof of the library, Alicia got on Sakura's back, and Sakura used her firepower to blast past the Yuris like a rocket toward the sky. Sunrisha hitched on. The three went into the sunlight, causing it to temporarily blind the Yuris. Suddenly, the girls formed together into a fiery phoenix. Phoenix strike! Obliterated the Yuris to dust. The victory was theirs. Second group, Tiana, Crystal, and Gina led some of the Yuris toward the downtown bank to prepare their combo. Crystal touched Tiana's celestial horseshoe boomerangs, making her hand become like the exterior in appearance to become like the celestial material. Gina got ready, and the three charged towards the Yuris. Celestial Fury! And in no time, they rapidly punched, slammed, and whammed a lot of the Yuris. Yep, and just got probably caught it in the last time I did it, with the Phoenix and whole fury of punches and horseshoes there. The third group, Sword Girl, Night Fox, and Gloria battled through more Yuris as they arrived at the downtown Shreveport Convention Center. Night Fox suggested an aerial assault. Once everyone got into position, Night Fox froze the area in ice. Then Sword Girl used her psychic power to attach her swords and Night Fox's night javelin to Gloria's back. When Gloria jumped down toward the ice, Sword Girl the made the weapon spin and form a drill, and once the ice hit, an ice cyclone came out. The Frozen Twisters, said Gloria, Sword Girl, and Night Fox together as the cyclone wiped out the Uris with ease. The fourth group, Dashtail, Power Play, and Tyrone, lured some of the Uris to the Elvis Presley Auditorium. Yeah, we actually do have a place called the Elvis Presley Auditorium here in downtown Shreveport. Oh, thank you very much. Once they got inside, Tyrone made multiple copies of themselves. Then they all split up, running around the whole auditorium, confusing the Uris to the point of making them flee back outside. Stampede bashing, said Power Play, Dashtail, and Tyrone as they stampeded over all the Uris. The fifth group, Bubblina, Holly, and Marty, faced off with more Uris by the Red River. Bubblina and Holly changed to their mermaid forms and swam into the river. And after that, Bubblina fired from her trident. They fired bubbles from her trident at the river, along with Holly's Aurora beam. And Marty put his back vacuum on in reverse and aimed it at the river as well. This caused an Aurora colored tidal wave to form. After the wave was formed, Marty got a surfboard and surfed the wave. Aurora Wipeout Crusher, they said together. I guess Big Bop was hanging 10. Marty surfed the tidal wave over the Uris, eliminating them. The sixth group, Vanamex, Target, and Zayton, they led some Uris to the Cyport building. There, the group used the various exhibits in combination with their powers to battle the Uris. Eventually, the group got an idea. Space battle, they exclaimed. And with one poof, Vanamex won. Cyport became outer space. Vanamex, Target, and Zayden were on board their own spaceship called the Target XZ, battling the Uris in their spaceship. Got a Frozen Twister and a Stampede Basher, a Raw Tidal Wave, and a ZX spaceship. A ZX Target spaceship to be exact. Spaceship. Their spaceship called the Uri BBs. They battled fiercely with constant lasers firing. The Target XZ was successful at taking out some of the Uri BBs, but the others were tricky. You won't beat us, said one of the Uris. The dark side will win for sure. The light will always beat the darkness, said Vanamex. Prepare to launch the secret weapon, said Zayden. Preparing to launch secret weapon, said Target. He pressed the button marked secret weapon. Well, that's pretty self-explanatory. The secret weapon looked like a giant spiked boxing glove covered with Target and ZX emblems. Vanamex, Zayden, and Target pressed the button mark launch together and said, Target XZ KO shot. Fire! The ship fired the boxing glove and obliterated every single Uri and their ship. The seventh group, Star Striker, Johnson, and Nose, faced off with the remaining Uris in martial art combat battle in the middle of the downtown area. Soon they noticed a group of Uris coming from two sides. Nose got an idea and told Star and Johnson, listen up, guys. I'm going to show you the step-off move my buddy Kevin and I used to do in high school when the McDerrick boys were about to bum rush us. Just follow my lead. At the very last minute, Nose shouted, step off! Suddenly, Johnson, Star, and him leaped away, causing the Uris to crash into each other. Sweet move, said Star. And humorous, said Johnson. The Uris became cross as they decided to, and as they got up, they decided to pull out their swords to battle. Oh, so you want to pull some swords out on us, said Star? Well, let's even up the score. Don't mind if I do, said Johnson. Sword and shield of you can. Johnson made his shield and sword appear. And Star took out his star sword and shield. The star sword battle blade out. And he shot the blade out of his star sword. And the Yuri, and Yuri's feel the power of my nose blades. Nose taking out two swords called nose blades there. On that note, the sword fighting began. Stars, Johnson, and Nose went move for move with the Uris, and there was clanging and banging of all sorts with different attacks. The nasal fury slash, rapidly slashing several Uris with his swords multiple times. Shooting star strike, said Star, striking more of the Uris from the sky with his star sword, like an actual shooting star. They don't say I strike like a star for nothing. You got the secret weapon there. Nose and Star Striker. Yeah, they going at it. And then of course John's about to use his final attack there. Backlash Lion, said Johnson after he blocked all the attacks from the Yuri's attacking him. He placed his shield and sword together to unleash the force from energy in the form of a red lion at the Yuris. After a while, the trio unleashed their ultimate attack, combining their swords together. Supreme Nasal Star Lion Blade Strike. The trio unleashed a giant energy blade from all their swords, eliminating the Yuris. Chapter 18, the end of the heroes? Backbite saw what was going on and became extremely angry. He went where Bubbling, the Holly, and Marty were and blasted Marty toward the Red River at the same time. And at the same time, snatched his back vacuum. Time to do some cleaning up around here, said Backbite as he turned the vacuum on full power. And with his magic combined, he was able to suck up the Dream League, Nose, and the Conquerors inside. Now I will rule I'm allergic to ignorance, interrupted Nose from inside the vacuum. Before Backbite could answer, Nose gave a mighty sneeze that made the vacuum explode into pieces, knocked Backbite to the ground, and freed everyone inside. It's over, Backbite, said Star. Yes, it is. For all of you. Backbite fired a huge burst of cosmic energy, wrecking the downtown area severely, injuring all the heroes. They were barely able to move, and their helmets and masks had came off. Is that all? Is that all you got, you big bully? Asked Power Play, struggling to get up, but he couldn't. Backbite grinned. You're about one blast away from being destroyed. But since your star friend seems to be the boldest, since you and your star friend seem to be the boldest, I'll destroy you two first. Nose got up and saw Backbite laughing sinisterly as he walked towards Star and Power Play. He noticed everyone else struggling to get back up. Nose thought to himself, there's got to be some way to stop this guy. And then he noticed debris on the ground containing gears and pieces of metal around him. Suddenly, an idea struck him, and he thought, yes, that's it. He picked up a handful of screws and bolts and began to concentrate real hard, which caused the nuts and bolts in his hands to glow. Meanwhile, Backbite arrived in front of Star and Power Play, ready to destroy them with his sword that appeared in his hand. And just as he was about to strike them, Johnson blocked with his shield. He used his sword to knock Backbite's sword out of his hand, as well as slashing him a little bit. But Backbite went to fire a cosmic energy blast at Johnson, but Power Play pulsed it with his hammer. After that, all the Dream League members and Conquerors managed to get up and charge at Backbite. However, the effects of the hammer wore off due to Power Play's low energy. Backbite unfroze and blasted everyone back down again. Then he grabbed Star and Power Play each in his hand and said in their faces, "Hey, as I was saying earlier, you two are going to be destroyed first." Then he went over to Johnson and kicked him. And they, after that, you will be next. And then I'll take all the others out one at a time just for fun. "You're not going to get away with this backbite," said Star. "I beg to differ," said Backbite. We made it this far in stopping you," said Johnson. "I have faith we're going to succeed somehow." "That's right," said Powerplay. "We're not failures. We're more than conquerors in the name of Jesus." "Is that right?" said Backbite. "Well, look who's talking, boy. You've been nothing but a failure your whole life, and your friends are failures in denial. You all thought you stood a chance, but you have no chance but to face the horrible truth." Then Backbite looked to the readers. "Oh no. You see, kiddies, this is why you can never be heroes, because you'll eventually face your doom once I've taken over. And that goes for your parents, too. You're all weak as I expected. Now, now to serve the final blow of your demise." Backbite laughed and prepared to eliminate Star Striker in Power Play. Chapter 9, Another Chance for Victory. And a robotic voice interrupted Backbite. "Not on my watch, Backman." Backbite turned to where the voice was coming from. Everyone looked up as well as and was amazed at what they saw. It was Nose in his Technose gear after it had just finished transforming. "Let's do this." Mm, there's there he is there. Technose. Antonio drew he drew that there. Dun, 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 dun. Almost kind of got a Iron Man Optimus Prime kind of feel. Yeah, and this is how big he is compared to Backbite. But Backbite still ain't gonna back down there. Kind of remind me of the clash between Megatron and Optimus Prime there. "Give it up, Megatron." Backbite set Star and Power Play down and grinned. "Now this is more of a challenge. Yet you will still be defeated. I'll turn you into a cosmic scrap heap." "I don't think so," said Nose. On that note, Backbite charged at Nose, and the two of them went at it. "Meteor Fury," he said, making meteors rain from the sky. "Mucus Missile Cannon." Nose firing missiles at the meteors to destroy them before they hit the ground. Backbite seized the opportunity to strike, grabbed Nose, and flew him into the sky with him. Suddenly, Nose noticed the flame-covered meteor heading toward him. "That tech of yours may be strong, but it won't stand this. Prepare to be burned to a crisp." "Don't count on it," said Nose, aiming his nasal cannon at Backbite. "Nasal cannon!" Once Nose fired his nasal cannon, it blasted Backbite off of him onto the ground. After that, Nose flew down a bit, turned around, and said, "Shake, quake, concussive ray blast." He fired a laser from his shades at the meteor to push it back up. Backbite saw this and made more Uris appear and had them to stop Nose. Nose fired more missiles from his mucus missile cannon to get the Uris away from him, but Backbite soon blasted Nose with a cosmic blast, causing him to drop the meteor. And when it hit the ground, a big explosion occurred, destroying the entire downtown area, leaving nothing but debris behind. Nose looked around. He didn't see any of the Dream League members or conquerors. He thought they were all gone until a bright light shone from above. He looked up and saw everyone floating in the light and lined up behind him, beside him to defeat Backbite once and for all. The Yuri swooped in to attack them. Everyone obliterated them with their different attacks. Then they prepared to aim them at Backbite himself. They gathered their energy together to form their finishing attacks. They including the Dream League's Hero Team Sword and the Conqueror Supreme Sword and Nose Sinus Beam. No, this can't be. I'm the supreme ruler and master of all. That's where you're wrong, said Star. There's only one true master and ruler over everything, said Johnson. And that's the Lord God Jehovah, said Power Play. He is who he is, and that's all I've got to say, said Nose. The rest of the Dream League and Conqueror said together, and anyone who goes against him will feel his mighty wrath. Conquering hero in strike. Oh boy. Then two large energy blades from both swords and an in-shaped laser from Nose was unleashed, obliterating Backbite along with his gravity straw, putting everything back to normal. Back where King Gabe was, that's me, he looked up on his story and smiled and said to the readers, "Looked like Backbite was wrong. As you can see, everyone, you can be a hero when you fight and stand for what's right in God's will. Believe it, declare it, and decree it in the name of Jesus. Like now, believe it, believe it." Always remember that no matter how hard things may get when trying to do the right thing, don't give up. Keep pushing forward by declaring and decreeing God's word because God is faithful. Now, if you'll excuse me, I think I'll drop in on that hero convention. I better get my costume. And rereading this is kind of speaking to me. Like I say, I ain't gonna say, I'm not gonna say it here because it's kind of personal there. But yeah, I got some things that I'm recently encountering. This is really, yeah, this is really giving me even more motivation rereading this here. Yeah. And there and there's my costume for the convention there, the Hulkbuster suit. That actually is my still with Microsoft Word, but that's actually my head dubbed on the Hulkbuster unit. It was actually a Hulkbuster figure from Walmart I bought. So that's what I used to have to make it look like that. Sort of look like how Banner looked when he wore that in Infinity War. Chapter 20, The Adventures to Come. The next day was the last day of the Hero Convention in the New Orleans Convention Center. The Dream League, Nose, and the Conquerors enjoyed all the festivities. King Gabe showed up as well in the Hulkbuster Iron Man costume. So I actually entered this universe. Once it was all over, the Dream League, the Conquerors, and Nose congregated at the Hero Tree and got ready to send Nose back home to his dimension. As the portal started booting up, everyone shared their final words. Samuel started, "Nose and Conquerors, we want to thank you all for your help. We couldn't have done it without you guys." "No problem, kiddos," said Nose. "Glad I could be here to help." "And so are we," said Johnson. "It's good to know that there are people like you who are dedicated to protecting this world from evil like we did 10 years ago." "Well, you should thank your friend Bruno," said Tiana. "Like I told him, he is destined for great things." "I guess so," said Bruno. "I like being a member of the Dream League and having real friends." Not only Not only that, said Hero, entering the room. "There will be other things in store for you to succeed in. things may not have Things may have been tough for you in the past, but as long as you keep working hard, never give up, and most important of all, keep your eyes on Jesus, you will be more than a conqueror, already having the victory in life according to God's holy will." Will you guys will you guys be willing to join us again if we need you?" asked Brian. "Well, let's put it this way," said Zayden. "You got friends in high places. And in other dimensions," said Nose. Marty took copies of their first two books out and said, "Here's a copy of our first two books for each of you on us." As Marty handed out the books, Tyrone said, "I placed our business cards in them if you need or want to contact us in the future." Are you guys on Social Kingdom too? Asked Zoe. We sure are, said Gloria. Though it might be a while before I fully understand how to use mine. I can't wait to start reading my copy, said Melody. This is gonna be our book club's next thing to read for our book study, said Ebony. But is there a chance you guys might publish books about us? Asked Julie. I say, yeah, I'm not sure I'm be ready to expose my secret identity to the world, said Naomi. Try telling that to Tony Stark when he revealed himself as Iron Man, said Calvin. Sure, the publicity's great, but it does have its disadvantages. Johnson laughed a bit and said, there's no need to worry about that now. We only exposed ourselves after we had been through it all. So does that does that mean that one day, many years later, we might do the same? Asked Bella. Only if you choose to, said Diana. Everyone pondered a moment until Riley asked Sakura, Miss Sakura, is there any chance that when I grow up into an adult, you and I could be together? Sakura smiled and answered, that's really sweet of you, Riley. But if you do that, you might miss out on a nice young girl around your age. I, to- I told you should have talked to that girl, to the girl in the number woman costume, whispered Bruno. Oh man. Cheer up, little bro, said Zoe. You could be looking at your dream girl and not even know it. Like Ivory, for example. Ivory blushed and stuttered, well, Ooh, you do have similar wild fashion tastes, said Ebony. Riley and Ivory sitting in a tree. Kissing, sang Harmony. Knock it off, you two, said Ivory. Everyone laughed until Nose zipped over to Diana. That maybe I should stay in this dimension and get to know you a little better. Yeah, say, beautiful blue-haired lady. Diana blushed and giggled a bit, and then she said, "You are pretty charming, especially with the shades. But as good as that sounds, that might be a bad idea at the moment." Well, why is that? Said Nose. Because your fans and possibly your creator would be highly upset if you didn't return. And I can assure you, he's got big plans coming up for you. Plus, I'm only 18. 18? Exclaimed Nose. Wow, you're like a little sister to me. I thought you were older than that. I get that a lot, said Diana. But hey, if our dimensions cross again, feel free to come hang out with me. She gave him a hug that cheered him up. At that point, the portal opened, but Eero looked suspicious. Nose said goodbye to everyone and headed to the portal. However, the computer indicated a malfunction. Eero called out, wait, Nose, don't go in that portal yet. Nose was so close to the portal that he couldn't understand what Eero said. What did you say? I said, don't go in the portal yet. There's a malfunction in the system. There's an owl bun munch in the what? There's a mouth. But before he could finish, the portal sucked Nose inside and closed. Eero tried to reactivate it, but it wouldn't work. Will he be all right? Asked Bruno. He will be, said Eero. But where will he end up? Asked Johnson. And what will happen next? Asked Samuel. Let's just say there's a lot to look forward for all of us soon, said Eero. Everyone pondered what Eero meant by what was going to happen next. Yeah. And there is a conclusion, but it's basically just a database re-update. Uh, Basically, the only thing that is different is the Atlantean sisters there, um, because they got weapons that go with their suits now. You got a wild axe and a saucer for Ivory, manga fans, and the saucer for Bella, and let's see, iron mace for Ebony, and claw crystal gloves for Crystal there, and then of course we know Power Play um, has the remote hammer and a power saucer, and of course Bruno Rogers and Bruno Rogers is Power Play, and He's 9 years old, born April 13th, 2002, same year that Spider-Man came out there. And his abilities are martial arts, hand-to-hand combat techniques, ability to fly, they able to fly, and ability to temporarily rewind, fast forward, freeze, and unfreeze time, and fire energy lasers. And soon to come, a powerful source of energy hit in a dark area of Atlantis that used to be Serena's lair. Next, a tall, dark, and sinister merman swam in with his pet catfish to receive it. Excellent. He was sitting down, petting his catfish. I find more energy like this, I'll be able to carry out my plan. First Atlantis, and then the world. The merman laughed sinisterly, and the catfish grinned evilly and meowed. Wow. Yep. As I guess I was imagining Michael Clark Duncan as a merman. You know when he played the Kingpin and Daredevil there. Yep. And then of course there's some pictures there. Got me, Christina, with Camille and Nisha. Say some audience members. Antonio with his nose character in his original form there. Yep. But yeah, that's basically it there. Okay. And kind of talking about the crossover and everything and stuff like that. Let's see, here's some bonus artwork here. This was let's see, I think this was a character called Patricia Walker that was supposed to be at first that was supposed to be in this book as Zayden's sister, when she would hint to the readers to continue reading the pre-series there. Yeah. Yeah, at first she would. Yeah, I think she was gonna appear in this, but yeah, I didn't put her in there. And then that was a drawing that Kevin was going to appear, but Antonio decided to just have Nose in the crossover. Yeah, but what I said before I wrap this up. That's an old picture of the Dream League back when I first drew the Dream League characters there, and that's Antonio's drawing of Backbite there. Yeah, mm-hmm. Kind of got that dark side Thanos a little bit. And these were some extra drawings that Antonio did, like Nose's nose blade there, and Kung Fu Nose. Ooh, excuse me. And then he drew some drawings of things like Star Striker and Knife Box and Sword Girl there, just kind of for funsies there. Yep. And then this was some drawings of Julie, aka Sword Girl, from Casey there when she first designed Julie, aka Sword Girl, and a drawing of Naomi, who's also known as Nightbox, with both of her parents there. Yep, which was that drawing is also from Casey as well. And the rest of the pictures are basically some pictures of some ads there from people that bought ads to be placed in the books there. Yeah. So, yep. So that is it. We finished this in 4 parts there. That's an impressive piece of work there. I guess yes, I guess technically part 1 was originally intended to be all of the intro plus the 5 chapters, and then then part 2 would have been 6 through 11, and 6 through 10, and 11 through 16 would have been part 3, and this would have been 16 through 20 or something like that. So yeah, but we have finished it now. So like I say, I guess the next time we read the more, we'll have book 11 and 12 left, and also kind of share with you guys what would have just a little bit that I can recall of what would have happened had this series continued, as well as also a spin-off series from that universe that was supposed to occur as well had Heroes of Dream continue, um, and then at the same time continuing the pre-series there. So, but until then, now, like I say, wrap this up for now. So yeah, make sure y'all definitely like, share, subscribe, and get our available books, and also be on the lookout. Get our available books. Support us on Patreon, just like Iceman Universe does, and also show him some love. And like I say, he's got reactions to Ed, and Eddie, Hey Arnold, Courage the Cowardly Dog, Spy Family, Naruto, and One Piece. Also, speaking with the Patreon, yeah, we got so many. We got over 2,000 subscribers, as I mentioned in the short. Yeah, all of y'all do that $1 Patreon pledge challenge. Like I say, you can do more. You're more than welcome to. But if all of you subscribe here, just do that $1 a month. It'd be over all together would add up to over $2,000 a month. Supporting the channel there. So yeah, definitely. So yeah, each one of y'all can put a dollar in. When yeah, they say I know we all got stuff that we trying to pay, bills and all that there. So yeah, that's why the challenge is $1. That it doesn't won't put a big dent, in your in a lot of your accounts there. 'Cause like you say, well, I got some high bills and stuff, but yeah, the dollar, it's $1 from each person that's subscribed, and even and the same with newcomers as well. So also, definitely support the Miracle Crew. Yours truly, King Gabe, Queen Tina, Big Sis Casey, and of course, EJ the Supreme. And just like how you hang out with us in these live streams, also hang out with us on Discord and on Facebook, and we can sell each other some stuff on that McCary app. And with all that said, yeah, we finna turn in there. 'Cause we gotta get ready for the get some stuff ready for the next day and go to bed. So I guess y'all go to bed too, just like me. They those of y'all those of you who getting ready to go to bed now. So until then, take care, everybody. See you in the next video or possibly live stream. Probably weekly update will be coming up there. So be on the lookout for that weekly update and any of our other videos. We'll see y'all later. Take care, everybody.